what are your thoughts on the big issues of the day? Kadi joins me now for that review. Hello again, Kadi.
Well, Bukola, it's time to get on the very interesting streets of X. And quite a lot of things have been said about the Edo elections. But yesterday, the PDP put out a statement to the effect that they're going to court. The candidate also spoke about it. So what have Nigerians been saying about the PDP now? That's the national PDP rejecting the election results and heading to court. Ibrahim has the very first comment on this one, saying that the portal, that's IREF, and the BVAS ensured transparency. That's what this user says. So instead of rejecting the results, the PDP should respect the democratic process, allow INEC to complete its duties, and pursue legitimate channels for dispute resolution. So that's what this user says, and it's quite a lengthy one. But this user appears to be saying, well, let the process end. I think five days to go for INEC to do the review, then you can go to court. I just paraphrase what the user is saying that don't encourage inflammatory rhetoric and undermine democratic process.
Ibrahim, we hear you. Thank you for your comment. This one is from Shoba, who has just 2 lines. And Shoba says, this is expected and familiar, and the outcome is already staring us in the face, something like that.
And David Ofor is next, saying, assuming without conceding it was rigged. And what impact did you make to ensure that all pre-election accusations and calibers expressed by your party were resolved? So I don't know who this is targeted at. Is this targeted at INEC or targeted at the PDP national? Well, I don't know. It says, were you even on ground to support your candidate? So it looks like this is targeted
it's a tricky one.
At the national.
Is it targeted at the electorate? Were you even on ground to support your candidate?
Well, so this is a statement made by PDP national. So imagine he's speaking to the national PDP.
Okay,
goes on to say,
Obaseki
lost in his local government area. That should show you a lesson that the governor is not popular at all. Well, there you go. That is what this user has to say about this David Ofor.
If you went by the votes of the opposition, they had over 200,000 votes. So that speaks to some level of popularity. That's assuming that the election was free and fair. But if you consider that the Labour Party won the presidential election in 2023, and if that was an issue in this governorship election, why did the Labour Party perform so dismally in this election? So that's a very critical issue to also consider. And if the people were even going to punish the ruling party, for whatever it is, the sins the All Progressives Congress is listing, would they reward the All Progressives Congress for the reforms that Nigerians have been complaining bitterly about? Why didn't they go the way of the Labour Party? So these are issues that we should also interrogate critically before reaching conclusions.
Elections are very, very interesting. And just to say, in case you're wondering, is this word palava, is it a real word? It's actually an English word, except that it ends with ER. It's not our term, it's actually real. Okay. So there you go, David Ofor with that one.
So we still have more reactions from on this particular matter. And this one is from My Abba, who says, in light of the recent turmoil within the official PDP Nigeria, it is unsurprising that such an outcome has come to pass. We should not express surprise at this turn of events.
So it's looking like the national leadership, or at least the national structure of the PDP, is getting some portion of the blame this morning. So we'll see how the coming days will play out, because again, you realize that the party is in a very tricky situation. But that's not all. Who else has been speaking about this? Well, let me see.
I guess we'll go to the next one.
Okay, let's go to the next one, because I know there's been a lot of conversation around it, but let's talk about the EFCC versus Yahaya Bello matter. And we understand that, get this, the Kogi State House of Assembly is calling for the immediate removal of the chairman of the EFCC, Olaolukoede. Very interesting times we're in, and some things happen. You hear some things that you wonder, where did this come from? How is this happening? I mean, I thought we had a lot of challenges on our hands. So you wonder, when did the State Assembly start calling for the removal of the head of a federal agency? But hey, this is the polity. Life Issues has the first comment on this, saying that immunity in the working. Goes on to say that Yahaya Bello planted protectors, according to this user, before he left office, and they are fully behind him. The last paragraph It's right there. Saying that if the present government does not report any corrupt case against the past government, does the EFCC have any right to probe its officials? That's a big question there.
You know what? Besides, it's actually allowed Bello make a caricature of the institution.
So clearly, yeah, this is a developing one. We'll see what the EFCC does about this. Looks like there's been some quiet. But we'll have to hold off at this point with your comments, but keep them coming in. Hashtag CTV Morning Brief. We're starting with that all-important conversation about the National Assembly, your representatives. And that will be in a few seconds, but you can be a part of the conversation, as I said, hashtag CTV Morning Brief. All of that talk about a recall of lawmakers, National Assembly resuming from its recess, the work they have done so far and how we rate them. All of these things, we're breaking it down very soon on the show.
So stay with us. We'll be right back.